The Misfits reading. Afterwards, I immediately, I wasn't happy. That was my absolute truth. I wasn't happy, and I recognized that they're not authentic mediums because they are rare. And I said to Spirit, as you do, you probably understand if you're a spiritual person, what do I do with this? And here we are. Spirit is guiding me on the truth.
Not mediums is a very heavy term, and it's actually kind of considered defamation here in the U.S. I don't know about Australia and the U.K., but telling people that they are not mediums, you can't prove that. You can't disprove it. You can't prove it, right? So it's kind of a defamation type of a comment. I have watched them, and as someone who is a medium who doesn't even fucking like them, I do think that they are tapped in to an extent. Do I think they could be better? I do.
Oh, wow. This is going to make it very awkward. And I started reflecting on the reading, thinking, oh, well, there were, Jen was giving some of the reading was like how he died. She was saying it was in the throat area, and it was. And as I said, Dan with the letter, and there was a letter in my dream from my brother. And so what I did was go, well, why don't you just focus on the accuracies of the video? I also was carrying sympathy for them in regards to the Lindsay Jones situation, because she is lying and stalking, and my sympathy went to them for that. Again, making me not think straight, behave straight up,
So the integrity that you keep telling us you have was compromised. That's how you say that.
My sympathy was now with them because of that situation. And with Clara's reading, I was, in Clara's video, I was feeling, you know what I'm trying to say. Feeling compromised. My thinking was compromised for a moment. I was thinking too much, wanting to please, people please. Now, Lindsay Jones has been stalking the Misfits, but the Misfits have a huge responsibility from their side as well. They're not behaving well either. They haven't paid a family money for...
All right, so I'm going to skip that part again because that's defamation. So she doesn't know if they've paid a family money. She is not in their bank accounts. I don't know if they've paid a family money. If they owe somebody money, pay money. I do know that Jen got on a live with her daughter and basically showed receipts, and I don't know. There's so much drama around. People think there's drama around me. I tell you what, they are the new drama definition.
When it comes to money. And they're calling themselves mediums, and they're not.
So in the United States, what we say is, I feel that might be for entertainment purposes only. To tell someone that they are not a medium in the United States is defamation of character, because you truly don't know. And you are not educated enough in mediumship to be making that sort of decision. I'm not sure if that's the right word.
You could call them intuitives at best. I've been reflecting on all of my reviews since the beginning with mediums, and I can tell you now, I have not met one real medium yet on TikTok.
Sure you have. You've interacted with me, and you've been in my room getting a free tarot reading. You have interacted with real mediums, but because you are skeptical, and because you are cynical, and because you have some weird idea of what they should be doing in order to meet your benchmark, even though you've never been a medium, never been educated in mediumship, apparently you're not referring to any books, any classes, anyone else. It's all about how you feel about the information that's being presented. So you have actually met real mediums on TikTok, but because you are resistant to the idea that somehow they don't fall within your little box of information, that they aren't real. That's not how this works.
That I'm absolutely 100% satisfied without a doubt that they are mediums. I have met one true medium in my life. Her name was Linda. She was in Australia. And I can tell you now, she was talking to my mother over my shoulder. And the conversation was without a doubt real.
All right, so because this was in your parameter, because you know that Linda was talking to someone over your shoulder and you don't understand that spirit comes in many, many different ways, that person was a real medium, but other people aren't real medium. And now someone out there is like, wait a minute, aren't you the one that does discernment and mediumship on YouTube? I am the one that does discernment and mediumship on YouTube. And I know that spirit comes in very different ways, but I also know the con artistry, which is actually why I found this person in the first place. I was like, oh, we do the same thing. This is great. But she's so into how smart she is that she isn't listening to anyone else. She already knows it all. She knows stuff she's never been trained in. She knows stuff she's never actually experienced. And that's a dangerous place to be. And that's where those skeptics are too. So Susan Gerbic, for example, who I've interacted with in the past, in my opinion, is not educated in mediumship. And therefore her critiques of mediumship are really bad. They're really bad. Now, sometimes I think she's absolutely right, but in the way that she explains it, because she doesn't understand mediumship, because she's never tried to learn mediumship, because she inherently doesn't think mediumship is real. Angie does seem to think it's real. Susan does not think it's real. Therefore, she can't even express herself coherently, if you will, or educated in the field of mediumship. I think that made sense.
Only once in 54 years have I met one real medium. And I've been on a spiritual path my whole life. I've owned crystal shops.
All right, well, I got to do a little condescension here, because if you've owned crystal shops, clearly you are educated enough to completely shit on people with an entire business and a student base. We've all been on a spiritual journey our whole life. This life on earth is a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are not humans. Does that make sense? We are spiritual beings stuck in meat suits, and the only way to get out of this trap, if you will, is to pass on to the other side and leave the meat suit behind. So there's nothing noble in that. There's nothing inherently that makes her smarter about that. We're all on this same journey together.
A lot of sideshow acts. And that's the truth with these mediums on TikTok.
So I do like it when I can agree with something along the way, right? And we already know that we're seeing the sideshows in mediumship and psychic ability and everything else on TikTok. TikTok is one big circus sideshow, honestly. And I'm here. I mean, I'm including myself. But this isn't new news. She's not original, if you will, right? We know that. We've been talking about this for some time. How do mediums police mediums without being overly rude, overly condescending? And so, for example, that's why I do discernment and mediumship. Link in bio. Go to my YouTube. You can see some examples. I try to be very factual and not condescending. I'm sure I fail from time to time because I am a sarcastic person.
Now, at this point, I am taking the guidance of spirit and I am acting according to spiritual laws, and that is to hold truth in its highest regard.
All right, well, we've come to the end and we only have about 40 minutes left to talk. Everyone is following their own spiritual guidance. There's nothing noble about it. It doesn't make her more right than someone else. And I'm not saying I'm more right than someone else. I'm giving an opinion. I'm giving a review of a review. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you made it all the way through these, 700 parts.